Morning all. I haven't started yet. Just finished my early morning constitutional. There he is. Theseus, doing well. Just cycled from Blakeney, which is about 14 miles that way, along quite an unvoluted backcountry route that Google thought I might enjoy. And I did. Just going to stop for a minute and go and get changed. I need to get back down there to the pier, see, and then I can do my proper opening piece to camera and you can pretend I only just started there from last time. It's all good. Bike's good though, so I'd like to show you the bike before we get started proper. So yes, I've replaced this. This is the only thing I've done so far this time. This piece here, I sheared clear off last time because when I stuff it in the back of the car, I sort of fold it back on itself and this piece ends up banging against this frame here and it was just sheared off because it was so rusty. Apart from that, oh yeah, new backlight because the other one I had lost its charge, wouldn't sort of stop charging, so I don't know, something went wrong there, got wet or damp or broken or something. But yes, blinky. This one as well is working fine. Enough visibility to stop me getting smooshed on the way here. But yeah, back wheel's going to need doing before the next trip in September, I reckon. Very clattery. I think it's the spokes, and I think I might have heard a bearing starting to complain a little, so probably a new back wheel for that. Apart from that, working well. Anyway, I'm going to debag, put my regulation uniform shirt on and get the hat out, and then I'll talk some more down from the pier probably and do a proper start. Anyway, speak again soon. Morning all, me again. I'm Tim and this is How to Murder Pete. A coastal adventure. Nay, let's call it even an odyssey. Why not? Got a great theme with the bike going on. Yeah. So we're all parked up over there anyway. So yeah, I'm back wearing the proper gear. I feel if I look like an adventurer, people are less likely to keep asking me if I'm in distress. You know, I'm more likely that I look like I know what I'm supposed to be doing.
Okay.
Oh, right. Hello.
Just to inform you that the lifeboat will be launching at 12 o'clock. The all-weather lifeboat at the end of the pier will be launching, followed by the inshore lifeboat over by
Exciting.
This
is totally unplanned. It's 11:46. In 14 minutes' time, they're going to launch a lifeboat. You know what? I think I might stay around and show you that. That sounds interesting. Sounds like I might as well document it. But yes, anyway, this is August. It's August the 3rd, Sunday, 2025. I feel like I have to specify the year now, actually, because this is my 8th year of this project, and I reckon it'll take at least 8 more. Anyway, so yes, I'm at Cromer. There you go, the famous big hotel thing there, the little pointy roofs. It's famous for. And I've cycled from a village called Blakeney, which is 14 miles that way, where my car is enjoying the day off. After having parked under some ill-chosen trees in Hunstanton last night and got absolutely carpet bombed with bird shit, so I think it's sulking and it's not talking to me at the moment. Yeah, so this is my Cromer to Sutton Bridge. You've probably never heard of Sutton Bridge, nor had I until I planned this stage. Tiny little village on the fens just over the Lincolnshire border. So basically this week, my August week, my week 3 out of 4 this year, I'm going to finish Norfolk. This is all North Norfolk coast, following basically the North Norfolk path, which the ECP has co-opted quite handily, which is a series of northward-facing villages on this sort of cliffs, actually. I mean, I think it's going to be much like this sort of cliffage all the way around, but it reminds me a bit of Devon more than Norfolk and Suffolk and Essex, with flat fens and seawall defences and stuff, although we'll be seeing more of that at the very end of this week, once we get to the Wash and into Lincolnshire. Yeah, I'll do a map bit when we get going, but yeah, this time I've got a stall for like 11 minutes now before the lifeboat turns up. Yeah, midday start, which is a bit later than I'd like, to be honest. But yeah, the Google took me on quite a long bike journey. I think it favours distance over steep hills, which I can sort of dig. But yeah, it means a bit of a later start. About 14 miles today, so I'd expect to probably a 5 o'clock finish, maybe something like that. Then there's a lot of mucking around, finding the bike, and then pick the bike up, chuck it in the car from here, and then back to Hunstanton, which we'll be passing through on like day 3, 4, I think. Yes, end of 3, beginning of 4, Hunstanton, but that's where my B&B is, and very good one it is so far, making thanks. Had a nice beachfront steak dinner last night, and just generally chilled out and enjoyed the sunset. But now it's a week of hard work, 5 15-mile bike rides and 5 15-mile walks. So yeah, here we are. So yeah, so I just had a drink and got myself sorted out. But yeah, I think to be honest, a 15-minute sit down wouldn't do me any harm at this point, because I've been quite a way. So yeah, weather. Yeah, I mean it's going to be sort of on off the clouds and sun most of the week. Although this afternoon at about 1 o'clock, I'm expecting a 2-hour persistent light downpour. So we're all storm lashed in the bag there, and I've got all the waterproofs with me. The anorak and such has made it come back. Didn't bother bringing that at all last week. I just stayed in the hotel. But yeah, so it might be a bit of a soggy one this afternoon, and then also same again late tomorrow. But then I think after that it might be fine for the rest of the week. So we'll see. We are in the middle of named Storm Morris. So we're already up to F this year. The season that's not bad, and it starts again in September, I think. So don't know. But anyway, but because we're on the east coast, Norfolk and Suffolk and such, this area just generally, in my experience so far, seems drier than most of the centre of the country and the west, and all these big storms coming on. A load of mer people patrols on the reconnaissance patrols coming up the beach there. Constant menace. So yes, they're talking about, because beyond the theatre there's actually a proper modern lifeboat station. Maybe we're going to have a look at it on killing time. But there's also the ye olde lifeboat house over there with the cream and blue. I think that's the old one before the pier got refurbed and stuff. And they're doing the inshore boat off of there. So yeah, and they're running around with buckets. I feel bad. I haven't really actually got loose change. I live in a cashless society now, so unless these guys have got some chip and pin machines, I'm not going to be able to help. I may pop visit their website after this trip's over and I'm back home again and bung on a few quid, but generally approve of the work they do. It's all voluntary. Apparently they don't get any government money. Alright, well, anyway, that's the plan for the week. I'll talk to you again when the lifeboats kick off. Save you an unnecessary 10 minutes of me waffling. Right, well, fascinating as that was, I've got to crack on. It's now 10 past 12, I've still got 14 miles to do, and in about an hour we're going to get 2 hours of light rain, so better get on with it. It's up the cliff and along. I think it is mostly cliff tops, this stage, because it is mostly cliffs and quite variable tide range, rubble and stuff. The cliffs themselves are quite dangerous and collapse here in this part of the world as well. So, let's get on and up. There we go, first acorns of the trip. Look at those birds. Turn. Good. First stairs of the trip too. I'm putting myself through it. I turned 50 since the last one of these. Not really feeling it. Not specifically that. I mean, I was pretty wheezy when I was 49 as well, so yeah, it's fine. And look, it's been half an hour, my bike still hasn't been stolen. Fantastic. See you in about 6 hours. Alright, onward. New boots as well, look. Treated myself. Gone back to the Merrills. I don't do brand endorsements, but I found that when Merrill say wide, they do mean wide, whereas High-Tech's wide wasn't wide enough. So I think I shall cultivate some brand loyalty there, I suppose. Should have to. I think they're the only people who do boots wide enough for my massive plates of meat. I feel annoyed that I'd have to have essentially worn one pair of £150 boots 1 week. Now they'll do a spares, I suppose. Right, well there's the pier. It's going to wheeze when I talk at you. So you can see the actual lifeboat ramp on the back there. That's where the big one launched out of. We couldn't see it from where we were. And that's about as good as it gets for piers this week, this trip. I think there's only one other pier ahead of us this week, and that's Hunstanton, and I've already been there and seen that, and I'd advise you to temper your expectations there. We'll give it a proper formal peer review when we get there, but yeah, not many piers this trip. The next major serious pier is Skegness, and that's September, so you know. So we were spoilt last trip in June with 6 piers, and we only get 2. That's counting that one twice.
No, I didn't see
right.
those.
So, to begin in earnest, let's get on with it. So, Jan Paul, get some miles in before the skies open up on me. Feels alright, it's quite warm. It's not that cold or windy, but I just think it's going to be a fair bit of rain, yeah. Sort of satellite backwash off of Storm Flores, which is hammering the centre and the west of the country a bit at the moment. I don't mind. No, but I prefer it not to rain, but I'm not going to let it stop me getting some miles in. Good. There's an inland road detour here. I have to say, plenty of buses along here I've seen today. Now, I probably could have done this whole week without the bike, but I quite like it now. I like the cycling, so I'm going to keep at it. Besides, next week is the next week, the September trip is going to be back to remote fens with no access at all. So I'm completely insulated against that. Yeah. Detour, the detour. I need to go up ahead and turn right somewhere by the bus stop, I think. Already inland road trudging and detours. This rain, I don't know, it should be happening about now, but getting an occasional spot, but spitting a little, but doesn't seem to be developing, so maybe I've missed it entirely. Last night it was forecasting 3 hours of heavy rain, so it does change and develop as we keep through the day, so yeah, let's see. Oh, here we go. This is more like it. Back on the coast again. I mean, coastal inland detours on the nearest road are sometimes unavoidable, especially around this part of the world where the coast is actually dropping into the sea at a measurable rate. But it's just good to be looking along a view pretty much like this, where, you know, sea on one side, sweeping landscape on the other, hills and distance. Actually, that hill is quite unusual. Guess we're going up that. I think that's Eastern Regis, and Sheringham's the next moderate-sized village, stroke town, stroke thing ahead. Be over the hill on the other side. Might be able to find a lemonade and some crisps, but I'm pretty well provisioned at the moment. Got an ice cream before I left Cromer. Cheeky rum and raisin cone. Good to go for away. Yeah, it's a sort of undulating static caravan parks and small villages now, farmland and stuff. It's very. I keep being reminded of Devon. No, not Devon. Dorset. Yeah, more like Dorset. Keep being reminded of Dorset, the coast there. Very similar kind of geology as well. It sounds similar kind of mud that's being gradually eaten by the sea, the red cliffs and stuff. I mean, there's probably a reason this part of the country sticks out the way it does into the sea, because this is a bit more durable than the surrounding fenlands, which we'll be back to in September, probably. Yeah. I mean, the hinterland there is a bit hillier than I was imagining as well. I always thought Norfolk was flat, but that's really not the case with this part of it. A lot of up and downy hills in the countryside there on the bike. I usually try and pick a route that isn't just an exact mirror of my walking route if I can, just so I see different things, you know, on the bike. I don't spoil the surprise. So yeah, it's good stuff. I've seen a lot of people out walking. I mean, it is Sunday, so that's the day for it, but I get the impression that the Norfolk Coast Path is much more of a thing than the ECP. Something people are aware of and do. Yeah, I don't know about the rain. It feels spots on my skin, little pinpricks of delicious coolness. But, I don't think it's heavy, nowhere near heavy enough to want to put the waterproofs on yet. I might miss it altogether actually if it seems to be undeveloping as it seems to be. I don't know. It feels getting heavier even as I talk to you, so I have to get the air out. I don't like the waterproofs because they make me hot and slow me down a bit. But you know, I have to just decide which is the worst. Actually, that is picking up a bit now. Right, I was going to do a map bit, but I can't get the paper out like this now. So you'll just have to catch up on the map bit another time. Or, you know, you're clever people, you can go look at Google Maps. So yeah, Blakeney today. Yeah, started in Cromer. Right, okay, yeah, I need to rearrange a bit. That is getting a bit heavier. Speak again soon. Nope, false alarm. Lasted just long enough for me to get my coat and out of the bag. Hey ho. I don't know, I think I'll know when it's going to happen properly. Visibility will drop off immensely for a start. I think this is all just scatterings of mist. Nothing to worry about, I don't think. For now. That'll all be sunshine. I did get more sunshine than I suspected the average, though. I didn't think I had powers. Alright, onward then. See how far we get before I have to drop the bag again. That's what I'd like to see. Grudging coast path access. Stay within 2 metres of the fence. Yeah, that's the dangerous bit. Gone low tech over there. So yeah, that's Beeston Hill apparently. I was reminded, so John once showed me a YouTube channel with a bloke who's a bit mad like me, I suppose, in that his thing was that he was visiting the highest point in every county in the country, which is, mad. I thoroughly approve and appreciate. I was wondering if that was like the highest point in Norfolk, because I haven't seen anything like it anywhere else in this county. Like I say, it's a little piece of Dorset or Devon. Actually, it does look like hard work. I mean, I've done harder, but not in a number of years. The last couple of years of coast path have been mostly Essex and the Thames estuary, so this kind of thing doesn't come up very much anymore. I wasn't really expecting to see anything much like it until, Scarborough or something. But yes, visiting every. I mean, I think that's the episode I saw. He was breaking into the tip at Rainham for the Thurrock, the Thurrock one. I think he was doing boroughs of London as well, which is mostly just him turning up at particular junctions and streets, but or just fields in Essex, But one of the episodes was Scarfell Pike, the highest point in Cumbria. I don't know if he does. I don't know if he did Scotland and Wales as well, but those get to be quite challenging. Yeah, so steel myself for a bit of a push. This rain can't decide what it wants to do. Part of me wants it to just thunder down and get on with it, exhaust itself. It's just spitting constantly. To be honest, if that's the worst it does, I don't even need to do shirt sleeves for that, because my radiant body heat's easily up to drying that amount of rain off. I mean, I don't worry about getting wet particularly, apart from, there was that one time I had to quit a trip a day early because of incipient hypothermia in Devon, but it's the phone I worry about, which, when all said and done, is just a very, very small £1,000 laptop, so, I really want to immerse it in water. I think that's generally bad when it comes to electricals. I don't know when I'll be able to talk to you guys. Let's document this fascinating odyssey in meticulous and excruciating detail, like I do. So yes, it's splattery bits of rain, but I don't know, I think by the time this is all coming off of Storm Floris, which I don't even know where that is at the moment, somewhere across Wales or the Midlands, but this is the edge of that. It's probably exhausted itself by the time it gets here. I think I'll know when it's really going to hit the fan, because actual horizon visibility will suddenly drop off considerably. I won't be able to see very far ahead, it will be misty. And that's time to get the anorak out. But at the moment, it's pretty clear sky. A few raindrops falling through it isn't impeding my visibility to way over there. I don't know. We'll have a look again when we get to the top. I suspect you might be able to see Skegness from here. Not see the northeast coast of England ranging away to the north. I don't know. You can certainly see the far side from Hunstanton when I was sat there on my park bench watching the sunset. Pretty sure you could see Skegness from there, and that was about 15 miles away. I don't know what the visibility is like here and the curvature of the earth and stuff like that. But obviously altitude helps with curvature of the earth, so if we get to the top of there, we'll have a proper look. Good stuff. Now I just have to weave my way up there and I'll talk to you again. That's concerning. You'd think I'd be fitter. Well, there we are. Beeston Bump, apparently. As you can see, day's end today from here. Way along that strand of it. That's Sheringham down there. We'll be able to get a drink, find a toilet. But hello. What brings a classy lady like yourself to the top of a hill like this? Oh, the altitude, yes. That's right, they put you on every tall hill. Well, then what's your number? Yeah. It's 5279. Okay, I'll add that to my scrapbook. Reassuring. I don't know why I have this weird fetish for these things. In fact, I think I do. I used to visit a Roman hill, an Iron Age hill fort that was quite near to where I grew up, quite a lot, and there was one of these on the top of there. I just found it exotic. I think it's non-parallel lines. It's Eldritch geometry, I think. That's what does it for me. Oh, good. I'm sure I've talked lots about these before. Oh, Bench of the Dead. I will sit down for a bit, actually. Jim Wright and Lou Wright. 6/1, 1919, 11/6, 1995, 11/8, 1918, 1/2, 2005. Memories of many happy days spent. Good. Yeah, I don't know if you can see Cromer from here. I think there's an intervening hill or two from here. Might already around the corner. And yeah, I think that might be the coast of Skegness. Hard to say from here. Visibility a little bit down. I think it's definitely some rain happening out there. I think we're okay. Looking across the horizon, though, looks like it's all being suspended on hot air from the ground. We may not get rain at all, actually. Often this irritating spitty stuff. Ooh. Oh, let's sit down for a bit. Then crack on. Just an app on Sheringham now, which I think is probably about a third of the way for today. I think an hour and a half or so. Just want to document this cool house. Beach house on steroids, on stills. Beach huts all along there as well. Facilities. Gosh, I need the toilet. Right, I can't stop yakking here. Moving on. Better now. Sheringham has recovered. TMI moment. So a proper look around now then, shall we? So it's high tide. I saw a board earlier just saying it's 14:02 or something high tide, which is pretty much now. 20 minutes time, so not much beach going on here. Highly tidal. A bit grim. This is the North Sea when it's not sunny. A grey, browny sort of thing. Water's got to be some colour. Right. Seeing a lot of mammoth motifs around this place. Signs saying deep Paleolithic coast or something. But they're trying to compete with Devon, the Jurassic coast. Yeah, I don't think we can see Skegness from here, especially not down at sea level. But given that it's 14 miles till the end of today's trip, and then another 14 from there onward to the next place, and then another 10 or so to Hunstanton, which means Skegness would have to be about 40 miles away at this point, which I just don't think we can see from here, even on top of the big hill. So yeah, this is the coast. I'm tempted to have a coffee, but I'm not sure I really want to sit down for too long and keep moving because we're a bit of a late start today, and I don't want to be up too late. I mean, it doesn't get dark till about half 8, 9 o'clock, but it should be done well before then, regardless. But I'll just keep moving on. So, yes. Yeah, not sure there's anything really keeping me here, to be honest. Let's move on. Mad for mammoths here, see? There's more of them in the museum, but I've got to keep moving. Still spitting. I can't decide. Let's check the weather again. I think it looked like it was downgraded to just head to cloud now. I don't know. Just going to pretend it's not there, ignore the sky. Right, don't be intimidated by it. Yeah. Some sort of fun day. It started up enough for everyone to get their anoraks out and then stopped and lightened up again. Didn't fool me that time though. I'm a veteran rainer on a... So yeah, coming up out of Sheringham now. I don't know what's next. Didn't do enough research or remember enough. I think we're looking at something called Weybourne next. A couple of miles up. We'll see. I just keep on turning. Big wheels keep on rolling. It's me. I'm a big wheel, you see. That's a metaphor or something. Yeah. Starting to make the ground a bit damp, but not super slick yet. The British in summertime, getting the best go of it. I can't stop and investigate, I've got to keep on. Although, yes, that looks like it should have an acorn and a round door saying ECP, but you know, I'm going to have to go this way then. sort of carnival queen and princess thing going on over there. I didn't know they did that still. It really is on the rain again now. Oh yeah, maybe bullied into my anorak at this point. Yeah, look at that, the visibility's dropping off now. Okay, time to rearrange. I was having a serious go there for a minute. Look at me in my anorak and no hat. Who will recognise me? I'll climb up out of Sheringham. God, that gave me a start. Thought Merchant Navy flag. I thought it was the another firing range I hadn't done the research on properly. No, I'll clear this golf course along the cliff edge and on to whatever's next. And yeah, visibility's picked up again on the horizon, so I'll have to decoat again in a minute. On and off, on and off. I have a drink there. Sit on this wet bench. There's something a bit grim about setting off on foot out of a town or village into the rain, you know. I have to work hard to keep my spirits up. Anyway, here's a sweeping coastline. I might take a photo of that, it's quite good. This is dramatic. Walk between the golf course and the shallow brown sea. Like it. Inspiring. Please keep to the bit that's about to fall into the sea. Okay. Gonna have to move that green sooner or later. Doesn't do me. De-anorakt again. Can't feel anything now. I think we're heading for, that's it. I think that's, next hour or so we'll start to see the sun poke through again. That might be it for the rain for today. But, eternal vigilance and all that. I think tomorrow's going to be quite similar, sort of, will it, won't it rain for like 4 hours in the afternoon. I'll deal with that tomorrow. One day at a time. A trick to this trip. Progress. Sheringham Park National Trust. Watch out for the edge. Yes, I know. Not my first rodeo. That's a very long golf course. I sat on the bench up at the top by the little house with the Merchant Navy flag. It's a Coast Watch, but not the NCI Coast Watch. It's like a off-brand local one, Sheringham Coast Watch. An independent thing. Yeah, up into the wilds. When I say wilds, the train just went past the edge of that hedgerow there. Where that yellow thing is. There's a train line here. It's just a tiny little two-carriage back-to-back job. There's no train service at all there. Surprisingly well positioned for public transport this part of the world, actually. Yes, look at this. This is prime wild camping country. If I were, disposed towards that kind of thing. I often find National Trust stuff is, as long as you don't take the piss, leave no trace, etc. No loud music, no bright lights. Gone at sunrise, I think. Don't think many people mind. But fortunately, still hotelling, so I don't have to worry about any of that. Unless you watch the edge of that side, but that's a huge amount of set-aside land that you could just take an unobtrusive corner on. Leave a flat patch of grass in the morning. With all sorts of ground nesting birds and things. But consider it wild camper as like a breeze in the night, like a ninja. Because if you can see the tent, they've probably already failed. The tent's even up in daylight hours, you're pushing your luck. Yeah, I don't think anyone would mind if you popped one in the corner over there. And then just up and away very quickly in the morning. No fires, no litter, no music, no bright lights. Back when I was doing it, not that I did do it, of course, I'm a law-abiding citizen. But back when I did it, I was generally made do with the phone screen as my primary and only source of light while camping. Bright enough to see what you're trying to unzip, and not so bright as it shines out through the tent. Yeah, I reckon I'm probably about halfway for today at the moment. And somewhere called Sheringham. No, we don't Sheringham. No, Yesbourne. What? No. I've lost track. There's a village ahead. I think it's Huntingbourne. I'd look it up. It's Sheringham anyway, I've done that. So yeah, this is probably about the halfway point for today, roughly. We just need to keep trotting on. There's a few small villages. I think the villages that remain are not even actually on the coast as such, they're a little way inland. So I don't think there's much from here onwards. Ice cream shops and such. It's fine, I just keep plodding on. Good. Got plenty of water still. Nuts. If I need them. Into an afternoon meditative bit. I have to put some suntan stuff away if the sun comes out aggressively. This is nice. This is peak coast path for me, it really is. It's just an undulating cliff top walk. Gentle cliffs. Sea to the right. Not raining. Nice cool wind. Not too sunny either, really. Just miles and miles of this stuff. Brilliant. See occasional people coming the other way, backpacks and stuff, a couple of mountain bikes, but mostly got the path to myself. Probably means I'm about halfway between anywhere with a car park. It's fine. It's just nice. Just chill. Go places in my head. All very zen. Zen and the art of coast pathing. Write a book. Who would read it? Not even me. As I haven't fully watched all of the videos that I've given to John to put on YouTube, to be honest. Watched some of them, for quality control purposes, but I was there, so that's my excuse. Yeah, really not much to say at this point. Just enjoying the strand of this. Reminds me a bit of Chesil Beach, but it's connected to the actual land. Not just a sandbar. It's a big sweep of coast though. Don't get too near the edge. This is quite crumbly around here. See it down there. But yeah, it just goes on and on. I don't know how much that will do today. Goes into a bit of fens and stuff. Salt marsh is a bit, 10 miles or so further on. So I suspect the ECP will divert inland a little at that point. But for now, it's good. Try to keep out for seals as well. Keep an eye out for seals because sort of driving here this morning and some of the, I was going past all sorts of signs saying seal tours and seal trip and stuff like that. There was a couple of boats doing that. Really cool actually. I must get some footage of them when we get to Hunstanton on the actual path. But they're like amphibious, like wheels. They just drive up onto the beach and become trucks. It's great. But they do trips out to seal watch. I don't know where. They were heading north around the Cape. So I guess somewhere along the path that we'll be looking at over this week. There'll be a seal colony or two, but probably quite far out from the path. Won't disturb them. Yeah, something to keep an eye out for. Well, I probably ought to do a sound check. I don't know. It's been ages since I've trashed a microphone. It might have already happened for all I know. Oh, that looks like rain on the way. That might be blowing my way. The visibility just drops off a cliff towards, about a couple of miles out there. That's coming this way, but that looks like a lot of rain going on over there. Or fog, but I don't think it's not too warm for fog. Still spits of it again. Just annoying. I should make it mind up. Yeah, all the bleak houses here in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I feel that might be a coat back on type of thing coming my way now. Good. Here we go. Oh, here we are. There's Weybourne Beach. Really is all there is here. One of those things might be a toilet. Don't know. I think Weybourne itself's further inland a mile or two. Don't know where we're going next. I'll have to look that up. But onward. Of course, somewhere back there, it opened up with an absolute downpour, sending me into full spacesuit mode. Legs, gaiters. All I'm missing is the waterproof gloves, which I accidentally left at home because I didn't think they'd be important. And then I'll just stick a goldfish bowl on and presto, lunar coast path. Ready to go to the moon. But yeah, so I'm quite toasty in here and dry. The toastiness is the problem because it's still about 16, 17, 18 degrees out here at the moment, and I'm still doing physical activity and sweating. That sweat has nowhere really to go. I mean, yes, Gore-Tex, but even so. So, in warm weather, wearing all this basically makes me wetter than if I wouldn't put it on, I think. Only it's my own sweat, which is gross. Not like the rain, which is nice. Yeah, I think we're going up here and along and away. Yeah, this does add a lot of thermal load. It makes me slower. It makes it all harder work. So the trouble is I've got to wear it for a bit now so the wind can dry it before I stick it in the bag. So attracting strange looks. I might put the hood down, just casually. There we are, beach on the edge of nowhere. On to the next place. These people without any kind of rain gear. One or two with umbrellas, which, are just lucky it's a low wind speed today, but no one seems to care. Well, they're just not prepared, not like me. I've done my homework and research, been here before, well not here, but on a rainy strand before. Know what to do. Oh, who knows? More grudging coast path permission. Mind you, this lot have got tanks, so they make a stronger case. Weybourne, the Muckleborough Military Collection, Weybourne Open. Don't know if we'll pass that, that's probably back in there somewhere. Well, I imagine it's on the other side of this exclusion area. Some sort of barn or garage over there, probably keep tanks in, hold military memorabilia. Maybe it all still works. I don't know. I'm not sure we'll see tanks today, but fortunately there's no red flags. So that's all good. Even if they have got tanks, I imagine they're not allowed live ammunition for the shells and stuff. Yeah. Alright, onward. And look, the bloody sun. Here I am dressed like an idiot, as usual. Whew, that's better. Getting quicker at that, but still 10 minutes every time the weather changes. All adds up. Mines? Shit, really? That's hardcore. Everyone likes a tank adventure day like the next man, but Right, let's crack on. How are we doing? It's 3:45. I have no real idea where I am. Oh, look, God, there's artillery over there. Right. No red flags though, so I'm just going to keep going. Decided to leave the gaiters on because the grass is all a bit wet still, but everything else can dry in the car on the way home or something. Hang it up in the shower in my room, that'll be popular. It's an immaculately clean and well maintained room, all like lush carpets and upholstery and everything. And they have a special note say, well, they say no food in the rooms, no takeaway or anything, which I suppose is fair. They also charge extra for unusual spoilage. So, there's me with my tracking half of the Norfolk coast into the room in the evening. I have to try and I brought driving shoes. I don't normally bother on these, but there's clean shoes in the car. Trying not to get stung for extra room feet after the fact. But yes. Although I am sort of reliably informed that let's say only tomorrow is going to be more like this, and then after that it should be fine for the remaining 3 days. More of a summery thing, so that should be alright. Just be careful to wipe my feet, which I often am. Ugh. Oh no, sorry, it's over the side there. What is there? I don't know. I mean, I've seen a lot of beach today. Actual shingle, which is not, ideal. Still, you wanted a coast path. What you got? Wet knee. It's cold. Right, no, okay. Gosh, this looks like about a mile of shingle. Okay, I'm probably going to put the phone away now because it's really noisy. I can't hear myself think when I walk on shingle at best of times. Not loud in there, I don't suppose, even though the fence is in terrible disrepair. Alright. Well, what's this post say? Crunch, 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 crunch. That's going to be my mental soundtrack for the next hour, I think. Looks like it goes a long way. Still, go place it in my head and that'll be alright. No. Doesn't look like there was actually any sand down there to walk on, so normally that's my go-to. There's a bit of firm wet sand along the water mark. This almost looks like stones all the way into the water. It's going to be just as bad down there and wet. Well, this is me then. I'll talk to you again when it's quieter. Yeah, ex-MOD, I think. Private collection now, I have no idea. I'd be feeling intimidated, but I think those barrels can't be depressed low enough to hit me from here. Minimum functional range and so on. Hope whoever owns that place likes windmills. Probably hit one of them from there. More or less in the right direction. Right, so I'm heading for somewhere called Clay next the sea. So I don't think it's that one, it's the next one over. I can't remember what that one's called. But I think Salt Street or something. Yeah, I'm not going there. We're following the coast really. It looks like a lot of gravel. Quite a long way. Still, ends the brakes. Hopefully there's a path takes over at some point soon. This is really wearing me out after all the wet weather gear as well. There's no particular rush time-wise. The car's in a car park that's open all night. It's free. The bike is just on a high street bicycle rack. And I've got a key for my room, and I did check with the guys. There's no particular curfew, no time you got to be in by. Just got to be quiet, That's all right. I'm quite noisy when I'm banging around with the shower, so not to give it too late. On we go. This looks promising. A little damp, but rather than walking along the top of that, I'll skirt around onto the gravel if it gets too wet along here. I think this might be the actual path though, just following this fence and these wetlands. I'll give it a go. It looks like a big one up ahead. Somebody's been down here, there's boot marks, but are the same boot marks returning, do we think? That is a bad sign. Yeah, it's quite a big lakey one, about halfway up, but yeah, lots of boot marks. As I said, I did bring driving shoes today. No, too much of the boots get fully mucky and muddied out. I just think this is a better prospect than the top of the dune. Going basically the same place. Salt House. There might be that lot there. There's some way to go yet. And there's one called Clay next to the sea where the path diverts in and then it comes back out again and goes around on a loop on a sort of curve and then comes back into Blakeney where my car is waiting in theory. So yeah, about a third of today to go maybe. Yeah. Alright, phone away. That was me hoping the string will be over for a bit. Mind you, I did do very well finding a secret, hidden, not very well path across the grass there for people who don't like walking on stones, of which I consider myself one. Maybe we can cut left, just follow the fence more or less. Try and minimise the time on the stones. Make my toes tingle and not in a good way. Seat, yes, let's sit down for a bit and have a drink. That's probably a good plan right now. Yeah, flagging a bit. Touch of first day blues, I suspect. Not going to stop, I know I need to just keep going and I'll get there. I'm starting to wear a little. Yeah, it does look like a path down on the left there. I'll get used to crunching my way up the next mile and a half. It looks like it's about 2 miles of that. It looks like. Not quite sure where I need to be. I might be Salt House still. Clay next to the sea. It's probably over the horizon a bit. Yeah, lots to do today still. At least the weather's perked up. Nice. You have to consider putting the suntan stuff on. It's just never ending. Let's sit here for a little while there, drink some water. Getting through it a lot, I think, sweating because of the waterproofs. Good. Still on the stones. So the next 2 miles is basically gravel. I'm wondering though, high tide was about 2:15. It's now 4:30. I don't know, I mean there's not much of a beach there, but it might be slightly easier going than up here, I don't know. Could try it. There's some sort of compacted sand there, even if it is full of small stones. I'll try it, see what happens. No, that's just as bad. It's just gravel, just lined up more neatly. Doesn't really hold the same way compacted sand does. Plus, occasionally there's a big wave. No, that's no good. Yeah. Alright, up on top it is then. Trudge, trudge. Just gone 5 o'clock. Thought I'd check in. Still on the unending strand. A strand of forgotten memories or something. I don't know. I forgot. It's a very Michael Moorcock feel to this whole scene. Expecting a bizarre ship of alien design to coast onto the shore and an albino wielding a soul-sucking sword to come leaping out. Maybe I'm just hallucinating. Yeah, they do say you should never skip leg day. I think this might be leg day. I can feel my thighs and arse working hard. So I think that might be clay next to the sea, with hyphens and things. There's a path on the left, which I don't take, and I go up to the headland at the end and then take a left and then end up in that village anyway. That's the only place I can cross one of these channels, I think. Then I come out of there and I go out back onto the shore, go along about another half mile or a mile, half mile probably, and then cut left, and that takes me to Blakeney, where my car is. So, however, I am thinking that I deserve a reward, frankly. So if there is a pub at Clay, I'm going to stop and have a lemonade and a bag of crisps or something before finishing the last mile or two. Because this is quite hard work. Yeah, I thought I was alright in the Norfolk coast path, properly signposted and everything apparently, and finished, but this is it. So certainly second half of day one has been quite hard work. I don't know, I mean, I was hoping there'd be some inland thing just along the edge of the dunes down there, but it seems to, whoever's fenced off all this wetlands has pushed it right out to the gravel, so not really any alternative. I don't want to walk on stones route, and I can see, so I'm just stumping along, putting about, it's hard to estimate, probably 50% more muscular effort into every step than I would otherwise be doing, just to push myself forward through the loose gravel. Getting very poor traction basically, so it takes a lot of extra effort to keep moving, which which will reward me in sharply defined thigh muscles if I do enough of it, I'm sure. So there's something. May even take a bit off the belly, but they do say the belly is the last bit of fat to go, so I'd have to skeletonise myself in all other dimensions first. I think that belly might be here to stay. Still, I can always do more dieting once I come back from this trip alive. Gosh, yes, I will sleep well tonight, I think. And then we get to do it all again tomorrow. I hope it's not like this all the way to Hunstanton. Not sure I'm going to enjoy that particularly. I might be a bit of a moaning Minnie on some of these videos. Complaining Calvin or something. Don't know. Oh god, I can still see Sheringham from there. The sort of curve of the bay, and now the sun's out and the visibility is good. That was a long way time ago. Long way away as well. Yeah, and the big hill behind Sheringham. Beeston Lump or Bump or whatever it's called. The windmills out there. Used to be all of them. I can see faint ones off to the right as well. I'm going to try and zoom them. Just not got the energy at the moment. Alright, let's just keep moving. I think stopping is death, I think. So let's try not to do that. Yeah, I'm hoping there's a suitable pub on the corner at the junction or crossroads or whatever over at Clay. That would be super. I mean, it's going to be a late finish today because I've got to get to Blakeney, pick up the bike. No, car's at Blakeney. Yeah, good. And then drive to Cromer. It's going to be about 45 minutes, I think. Then I've got to pick the bike up, chuck it in the boot, and then drive from Cromer to Hunstanton, which is a good 2 hours, I think. So, yeah. And we'll definitely be getting dinner en route, probably. Pick up something to eat at Cromer and just munch on sandwiches on the way back to Hunstanton. Sounding good? See? Simple, small pleasures that I'm thinking of and visualising in my future, which are keeping me going psychologically. Very important. Oh, it's quite windy. I hope you can hear this properly. I'm going to have a quick listen back to this again in a minute as well. Make sure I still need to move my microphone inside the pocket. I don't know if that helps. I think it just makes it more susceptible to cloth rustling noises. Anyway, keeping on. Some sort of car park ahead. I think that might be my turn. Get off this goddamn beach. I guess a job well done. Look at it. Just about see Sheringham in the distance, and then there's Cromer's way beyond that as well. I walked today. Not over yet though. I have to follow a link road back down to where all those buildings are, and then come back up the other side, and then on a bit, and then back down again. So I think that might be Blakeney over there. Don't know. Shouldn't be too far now. But yes, I think I will stop at the first pub I encounter. Go and see where this links off to. A building, a hut, some sort of, don't know, amenities. Who knows? Well, all this structure might have something to do with ice cream, but I was wrong. Let's pull some more information. You are here eventually. Right, I need to follow a beach road. That's something. And then it's back up and along a little bit. Must have seen some of those. I wasn't really paying attention. Mostly stones. We'll sit for a little bit, get some water. It's quite a push. I've still got more to do. I'm trying to get to that village over there next. Clay next the sea, apparently, but it's not. It's bloody half a mile over there. Honestly. Temerity of some people. Oh god, so much better. Indescribably so. It's like easy mode. My super strong legs are just gliding me along here. Yeah, go all the way back to there and then come all the way back to over there. Let's see some people on the horizon there. I think that's where I go next. Loop round to Blakeney. It might be over there, I don't know. Let's see. Not done for today though. Lots more to do. Definitely getting there though. It's good. They may have lemonade over there. Don't know. Oh, I think that's me. Apparently this is a harbour. Look at that. That's windmill way. At low tide. Trying to find a pub really. I mean it's 6 o'clock nearly. I've got about 2 miles to go. We're in for a 7 o'clock finish, but which is a lot later than usual. But you know, I don't mind. That's not a problem as such. I spent quite a lot of time mucking about setting up this morning. It's a long way from Hunstanton to Cromer and Blakeney, and the cycling seemed to be quite a long route as well. A 12 o'clock start, and you know, boots walking. So that's all right. Good. I don't mind. I'm quite happy to muck about and find a pub. It's 20 minutes stalling, you know. Ooh, coast defences. Interesting. Ooh. Quite substantial ones too. Yeah, I think I can pull 20 minutes in a pub. I'm saying no real deadline today, so let's do it. If I find one. There's one there. Brilliant. Yeah. Can spare a moment, I think. The beach did for me. I do need to recover. Grand old bump. It's clay next to the sea. Lovely. Not staying long. Alright, up and away. Didn't want to sit around too long. My body will go into end of day shutdown repair mode, which means my feet get all puffy and I can't walk without bending. My legs won't bend for about an hour. It's like rigor mortis, but I'm not dead. So, there's that. Happens pretty much every day after I'm done. After I've signed off to you chaps, you folks. Chaps and chapesses, whatever. People. That's what you are, people. Damn it. Anyway, yeah, so long enough to give myself brain freeze with the lemonade, which is just exactly what I was after. And my back to dry. And it's away again. Actually has helped. I do feel a bit more powerful now. I think I've got enough oomph left to get the day finished. So it's basically 2 miles from here. I mean, Blakeney is actually the next village along this road, and it's only about half a mile away, but you have to go out across and out into the salt flats and along the seafront again, and come back into the salt flats at Blakeney. So a bit of a longer section than might otherwise have been. As you follow the seawall there, the coastal defences. It's a very familiar sort of sight. Pretty much all of Essex was looking like that. So I've got a bit of that here as well. Lovely picturesque little village. Unfortunately the wrong one. The next one over. So yeah, they're looking at 7 o'clock finish today. But to be fair, I didn't start till about 12:30. So, and I think that's fair. 7 o'clock sounds about right. That basically is 2 miles an hour, which is slow for me. I'm normally 2.5. Sometimes, no, I don't really sustain 3, but basically, yes, I slowed down on all that shingle quite a bit. And also, every time it started raining or stopped raining, I had to dump the bag and go through a 5-minute pantomime of reclothing. So it all adds up. It's for a long day. That's okay. Like I say, I've got no particular deadline. Hotel doesn't shut me out at a particular time or anything. It wasn't quiet enough when I go back in, no one will mind. Yeah, there we go. Green line coming into clay, back out again. Actually, you can see a bit further down. Flood warning service, yeah, so basically the edge of that flood shape, this one here, is the route I still have to do, and you can see the road route, which is obviously much quicker. It's okay, I've got enough oomph, I can do it. Norfolk Coast Path, yeah, it's an acorn. All the ad hoc, I saw a sign in clay which just said National Trail on the acorn, Nobody really knows what it's called anymore, just follow the acorn, it's fine. Still, this is alright. I'm hoping it doesn't turn into shingle when we reach the seafront. But we'll see. Maybe not. Because, half a mile of shingle at this point would make me cry a bit, I think, inside. Certainly, we've got so much fortitude. We're okay, it's good. It's been a good day. Challenging day, to be fair. There are always going to be challenging days on a trip like this. Just hope that the rest of the week doesn't have quite so much shingle. A bit more normal path would be nice. This kind of thing, Right then, let's crack on. Days are wasting. Interesting purple flowers there. No idea. Some sort of alley? This will be quite a pleasant evening's walk, actually, this loop. If it hadn't come at the end of an already very long day. I'm alright. I don't think I'm in any danger of not finishing today. I think it's alright. Can you get there? Yeah, so those red buildings over there, I believe. It'll be a similar wharfy quay type of thing in a pub, I expect. I'm just going to crack on and get in the car into end of day shutdown mode. I can still drive in end of day shutdown mode, which is helpful, although I do look a comical sight waddling towards the bicycle to pick it up and try and put it in the boot. But a night's sleep does the wonders. Ready again tomorrow. Yeah, after we go all the way out to the same line as the car park over there. See you when we get there, of course. Just keep walking. Maybe a bit of stones, I don't know. If it curls in this side of some channel, I think it does. That's why we can't walk straight across. Some sort of river runs through the middle of this bit. No bridge, so presumably that goes out to sea. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Find out. The cows, pasture stuff down there. Probably not that suitable for heavy agricultural machinery. Swamplands mostly. But given over to productive use by the aid of sea defences. Yeah, that's good. This path cuts inland of a channel, I think. I don't think we get to see any shingle. That's good. Just follow this kind of thing all the way back to the village over there. She is getting closer too. That's good. A house out there. Weird. And then come back in zoom mode. Alright, let's see what's going on out there. Ah. I'm not sure anyone lives there. I don't even know if there's road access out there. Interesting. Maybe we find out tomorrow, maybe we don't. I'm not quite sure what tomorrow's problems entail. Basically, we come out of Blakeney. The names are blurring late in the day. And then, yeah, I think follow the coast upwards. I think it might be Wells next to the sea over there. I don't know though. Do some research. And we'll be aiming to get to a place called Burnham Overy Stave, which, you know, I'm not sure. That can't be right, surely. To do some research there. I don't believe it's spelled in the same way as the woman's reproductive genitals, so, you know, that would be weird. It's still quite weird. So I shall have to do some research, make sure that I'm aiming at the right village. Alright, let's push on. So we left turn up ahead and then we follow another river back to where all those boats are, which you probably can't see. I'm still in zoom mode, you can see. Yeah, the masts and things, that's where we're aiming at. And the village hall's a couple of streets over and my car's there. Turn the corner on the home straight now. Just back to that village and done. Yeah, all that's tomorrow's problem. I don't know if we even go out there. I can see people on the beach, but no, I can't assume the path was cutting a bit inland a bit because that's all just massive salt marsh, I think. Not sure even what those humps are in the horizon. It's like a south, like a breakwater, I suppose. The main single beach just sort of carried on there. I don't know. Stuff to worry about tomorrow. My reserves flagging. It's 6:49. I think 7 o'clock's about, yeah. Which is shocking in a way, but explainable in a way as well. Late start, slow going. It's fine. Yeah, then a lot of fox bag of chickens and some grain river type problems to deal with. Logistics. They should just pay someone to deal with all this, you know, the bicycle forwarding service, that sort of thing. Just using taxis, I suppose. No, it's all good. It all works. I like it. It's a good way of doing things. And get a bunch of extra exercise in. It's all good. I do quite enjoy cycling actually. I haven't really done it properly in a very long time, but it's sort of kindled a bit of an interest in me. Like I say, I bought a proper bike, decent one, for just to and fro to work from. So maybe I should start bringing that. I've not had any theft troubles with the bicycle so far. Mind you, it does occur to me at some point I'm going to have to leave my bicycle in the centre of Hull, so you know, I'm quite sure. I really haven't thought through that whole adventure. That'll be next year sometime, presumably the second trip. So I'll finish this year in Mablethorpe, September, and then from there it's not that far north to the Humber. massive bridge, deal with all that, cycling and walking across it. And yeah, staging. I haven't worked out the staging for that bit yet, but there's a distinct possibility that some stage may begin or end in the centre of Hull. So I don't know. Guess if I find a gentrified enough shopping precinct, I could do up with that. Multi-story car park. Who knows? Who knows? Problems for another year, not a day. Mustn't keep thinking too far ahead. So you go mad with this kind of thing. You think, oh right, well I've only got 2,728 miles to go to Minehead. Don't know if that's an accurate figure. Feels like I'm approaching halfway around. I think I'm probably about 40% of the way around if you also count the England-Scotland border and Offers Dyke Path as I'm going to. Feels, yeah, because the south of England, the south coast, is much wider than the north edge of England, so it's a kind of triangle, and I'm most of the way up the second side, so, well, about halfway up the second side, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. Hard to put a finger on it, really. But important not to think about it either, because, yeah, we'll go mad if I think, oh my god, I've got like 2,700 miles to go, and only like so many years of life left, you know. No, calm, it's fine. No, we're doing alright. So it's finished today, and chill. And by chill I mean drive for 2.5 hours, and lift, and try and load a bicycle into a car boot, and get back to the hotel and have a shower. It's probably going to be iPlayer in bed, with my Bluetooth headphones. It's important to keep my feet up. I really don't feel like going out tonight, you know, out on the town. And I generally don't. Once I'm done for the day, I'm done for the day. Once I've showered, that's it. Pyjamas on, bed. Just lie in bed and watch videos until I pass out. Or read books. I'm reading A City on Mars, which is a rare non-fiction choice for me at the moment. By Zach and I forget the woman's name. It's husband and wife research team, Weiner Smith. And it's essentially a kind of anti-Mars colonization examination. It's really good. Basically, because your internet millionaires with their starry-eyed rocket ships, you know, they'll want, yes, we should move the humankind to Mars, we should colonize other worlds, like in Star Trek, you know. And these two researchers presenting an extremely thorough paperback which explains the many, many ways this is a bad idea, or, well, not a bad idea as such, but you really haven't thought it through properly, and here's why. It's very entertaining as well, a humorous style, so I recommend that. And yeah, I don't know, fancy see if iPlayer have got a Marvel film on the go at the moment. That's a bit of low intellection, a bit of brain dead, eye candy explosions and whatnot. I chill out. No food in the room, so I have to sort that out before I get back. I'll sit there with a big bag of squashum things, two different colours. I'm quite into those. Rhubarb and custard, sort of raspberry and whatever. Anyway, I am waffling needlessly at this point, which I suppose is what I do, but anyway, coming up on the village, I'll talk to you again soon. Here we are, Blakeney. We're at 7 o'clock on the dot. 6:59. This is a picture. Quite a big boat there with all the flags on. Wallowing. Just wait for the tide to come up. There's a mud bank, right? Not sad. Maybe someone's going to hose those kids down tonight. Right. I mean, obviously there are riverside pubs and whatnot along here, but I've got a ton of admin to do before I can take the load off my feet for the night. So I'm just going to power on through and get to the car, get that sorted out, get my bike and everything, get some dinner. Just check in with the actual fingerboard, make sure I haven't deviated. It's a Sunday night, so there's not a lot about, but there'll be a pub open or two, I thought. I've noticed that around here, they open on Saturdays and Sundays till quite late, but then they don't bother opening at all on Mondays and Tuesdays, which makes a lot of sense, really. Blakeney Circular Walk, 7.5 miles, no thank you, I'm done. Clay, 2 3/4 miles to Clay. I don't like less. This was a lemonade. Okay, well, here we are. Toilets, might use those. Make use of those tomorrow, because I'm going to have to cycle to here tomorrow and lock the bike to something. It's quite good bike racks around here, and see. I have to have a squeeze as I go back to the car. Find something, I'm sure. So yeah, it's tomorrow morning. I should bright and early be pedalling my way to here from Burnham over East Aid. And then, is it a track or is that just sort of barriers of people falling off a step? I don't know, I'll have a drive around before I strike off for Cromer to get the bike, if I feel I can find. It's just one of these I do, to be honest. Railings along here, all sorts. It's fine. Chuck it in between that bench and that pole, maybe. I'll see if there's nothing specific and better, then yeah, that'll do. Right, let's go and find the car park. But I shall sign off here today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for keeping me sane and keeping me company on this, what turned out to be quite a hard day, actually. So, yeah, see you bright and early tomorrow for Blakeney to Burnham over East Aid. Ta-da!